this is Matt Marchant, and this video is for those who have taken the class Flatten Your Stomach. I would like to take just a few minutes and recap what it was that we covered in the class, kind of the themes that we covered. So for our class objectives, number one was to learn how to contract the core. And number two, to find out which foods might be causing some sort of inflammation and hindering us from contracting the core, or just looking at foods that might actually put some body fat on us. So real quickly, let's go through the priorities as listed in the very beginning of the class, the priorities to flattening the stomach. Now, when I'm using the word flattening the stomach, I'm talking about a few things. One definitely could be some of the aesthetics of making just a slimmer midline. We're also looking at strengthening your core and losing body fat. So any of those three things kind of really works for what we're talking about, flattening the stomach. So here are the priorities, and this means this is the order of importance. If you're going to go about to flatten your stomach, if you did number one first, that's the most important thing. So number one is food and water. Number two is sleep and stress. Number three is core control, and the very last one is exercise. So as presented in class, if all we are doing to flatten the stomach is just exercise, we might be spending a lot of time and a lot of energy working very, very hard when we might be able to work out a little bit less if we'd like. You can still work out as much as you want, but you will have greater results, and you might not have to put in as much time running or swimming or lifting if you did some of the other things. So real quick, food and water, number one. That is always the most important thing when we're talking about the core and body fat. As we've learned in class, sleep and stress. If we are too stressed out, if we're not getting enough sleep, there's no exercise you can do for those first two ones. You can do as much exercise as you want, but if you're eating the incorrect foods, if you're not hydrated, if you're overstressed and you're not getting sleep, spending minute after minute, hour after hour, pounding away on the treadmill might not help as much as if we got these first two things done. And then the third one is core control. Obviously, if we don't know how to contract our core, we don't have the function to pull that midsection in. There's no amount of lifting that can be done to substitute what we went through for learning about those five muscles for the core. So that's just the basic premise of the class. I wanted to recap on that. And real quickly, I want to just go through one of the last sheets on the Flatten Your Stomach cheat sheet. I'd like to just go through that real quickly, and I'd like to just kind of take this time to just make this point. There's a lot of stuff in that manual that I gave you, a lot of stuff. I wanted to give you as much information as I could because in order to be truthful on how to flatten the stomach, or flatten the core, strengthen the core I should say, I felt it was important to give you all that information. So hopefully you're not overwhelmed with it, but that's why we have this cheat sheet, so that you can go through and see which things you're willing and or able to start taking up today. So we have number one, we have the exercise plan. So you can go through there. If you don't have an exercise plan already, there's one built into this program right here. You can start right away with doing the exercise plan. The water. Water is very important. The basic thing with water that I tell people is drink half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. Let's say I'm 200 pounds, I should drink 100 ounces of water a day. If I've only been drinking 50, tomorrow I wouldn't want to drink 100. That'd be quite a big difference that I'm making up in one day. I would want to slowly work my way up to 100. That could be one thing that I could take on to change over the next few days or weeks. I could look at the foods that inflame. I could choose one of those foods, two of those foods. It might be difficult to choose all 8 and cut them out of my diet if I've been eating those. And I can mark down how many days I want to give that a try. Next one, foods that fatten. I can take a look at my metabolic type. I can take that little 14 test questionnaire, take the test, and do my best to kind of follow some of those guidelines and eating that way, making sure my plates of food look like either the protein, carb, or mixed type. I can have a sleep plan, looking at what time of bed I want to, what time I want to get to bed, wake up, getting closer to 8 hours sleep, that kind of stuff. Physical stress, the two things that are written down here for physical stress is really for adrenal fatigue. The adrenal glands are your stress glands, your stress hormones come out of that. And so when someone is stressed, I put physical stress, but when someone's even mentally and emotionally stressed, the adrenal glands can take a big pounding. So adding sea salt to your diet is important. It's definitely different than table salt. We didn't go over that in the seminar, but it's definitely different than table salt, and adding vitamin C. So two quick things on the sea salt. The body can take quite a bit of salt if it's sea salt. If it's processed iodized salt, it doesn't want any of it. So sea salt, the body can take a bit more than you might suspect. I would say a pinch or 2 pinches per 20 ounces of water is a good start. And then second, with vitamin C, make sure your vitamin C is a food-based vitamin C. If it says absorbic acid, that is not food-based. That is synthetic vitamin C, which must then be filtered through your liver and kidneys prior to being used. A 5-year-old should be able to look at the back of the bottle and go, oh, strawberry, cherry, whatever, kiwi is in here. I know what those things are. A 5-year-old typically would not know what absorbic acid is, and neither will your adrenal glands, or your, I should say, your liver or your kidneys. Next one on the list here, again going through this, is looking at some stress that we might be willing to take on, and take on meaning remove, reduce, reevaluate, or reprogram. Last two, cutting out the water weight. A lot of times we can hold on to water. We hold on to water because we're dehydrated. The body doesn't think that we're going to get any more water, so it just holds on to it. So actually the best way to flush out water is to drink water, going back to that water plan. Also too, eating vegetables, because vegetables have a lot of water to them. They will help flush out the extra water. Juicing is another good way too. You can get a lot of water weight that just comes out by doing a lot of juicing. If you're going to juice though, just make sure you're drinking your juice. This is freshly squeezed juice, not the pasteurized juice, not the pasteurized juice. Make sure you're drinking your juice within the first 10 minutes. A lot of the nutrients, once they go through the juicing process, get lost very quickly. So drink your juice as quick as you can. And last one, exercise to burn fat, because it is on the list, although it's number 4. You can exercise to burn fat. If you're exercising with a heart rate that's too high, you're actually not burning fat. You are burning glucose, which comes from what you ate the night before, meaning any kind of vegetable, fruit, or grain. So you want to exercise in the right range. So just going through this real quick, you take 180 minus your age, and that's your first number. So let's say I'm 40, 180 minus my age, I minus 40, that brings me to 140. I subtract another 10, that brings me to 130. So the heart rate range that I want to exercise between for maximal fat burning while exercising is 140 to 130. So you just kind of follow that plan. And for some of us, that heart rate might be a bit low. So you might see that you've actually been working out a bit harder than you need to burn fat. That's not to say, though, that a tough workout does not have benefit. There are tons of benefits to an intense workout. When somebody is ready, when the body's ready, and the adrenal glands are ready too. So that's pretty much the summation of the class. Going through that cheat sheet can help too. If a lot of things were confusing, I would say just look at the cheat sheet, pick a few things that you're willing to take on. You don't necessarily need to understand all the concepts behind them, but hopefully that will give you a start to flattening your stomach. Thanks again.